Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. All right.
You know what? I talked to your mayor.
Chase dreams, I'll chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. I chase dreams, I'll chase money. I go dummy, everybody hate to love me. Why? I chase dreams, I'll chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. One deep, like sweet, like honey. I go dummy, everybody hate to love me. A strike 1, 2, 3 and they're afraid of jail. And what's this? It's not your first go, and you'll sue over public records. That's a yeah, no. Serving up your hey losers, thanks for the newest loaner, while refusing refunds to your largest donor. How far's he in? Is that why he's so bereft? Have you taken enough money to straighten the grand theft? Yeah, I bet you laugh, thinking it was all for free, while refusing calls for transparency. All of those people that we saw you fleece. Yeah, maybe it's time to involve the police, sir. So crank up the threats and inform the little people that you're threatening lawsuits to bilk all your sheeple. Because me, I'll tell you to pluck it straight from the hat rack to mic drop that blue bucket. So how many scams has it been? A half dozen? More? How many sheep did you sell on a lack of objectives, updates, leaving only the few in funding goals, thinking no one would notice or care? And even if they did care, you figured you'd threaten them into silence, right? Mean words and meaner mugs, but this isn't preschool, and I find you're wannabe tough guy. I've got connections to the mafia, BX lacking. So yeah, school's out, and maybe, just maybe, jailhouse stripes maybe in the summer. Come to AKA near you. Jailhouse stripes maybe in the summer. Come to AKA near you.
This summer. What's up, folks? How's it going today? Man, welcome to a Friday edition. A fun Friday where we have had some pretty interesting developments today. Today was a really interesting day. I keep telling you, you know, things are developing. They develop when you set up a lawsuit. Things develop slower, you know, unless you're one of these. How do I put this? One of these shady, I guess is a good word, lawyers, you know, and they're writing their own garbage briefs. If you're one of those, maybe you can just pop out something and drop it just like that. But in the real world, where you're setting up litigation, it takes a minute. You know, you want to make sure that you get all kinds of stuff right. You want to get everything involved the way that you want to get it involved. And yeah, so today things got really good and rolling, you know. today actually signed the paperwork talking about, now I won't ruin the fun and surprise. I will wait until the actual filing drops, to really get into all the, I'm going to say all the details with that. But yeah, it is coming. It is like very legit. It's, when you're told there's a lawsuit that's coming, oh yeah, there is 100% a lawsuit. It is 100%. It is on. You have Megan is also for sure right there in the mix. She's going to be in the mix of it as well too. She's off on the weekend. Otherwise, she'd be in here laughing about it too. But yeah, it's come to the point that we are talking about again, signing all the paperwork and everything else. So, Lips, she thinks that it was all a joke. That she just roll in. She could do whatever she wanted to. She could treat people like garbage if she felt like it. And then at the end of that, there would be no liability, no issue whatsoever. And making it clear, when we talk about anti-Hale, she very much was supposed to be a key part of anti-Hales. As far as some of the stuff that we've been able to find out with this, she was supposed to be an integral player. She wanted to play off her role, minimize it, to say, I just did this little interview. But you could look at what she did publicly and tell that that's not true. She got involved in all these shows. She actually started running her own shows. She skipped to the front of the line. She was supposed to be their savior. And now that everything is falling apart, you notice, you got folks like 2L being like, oh, we're done with LP, that. And I'm going to cover other things now. Really? Like I used to. Are you kidding me? Used to cover other things. What are you talking about, man? You may have covered something before you decided to become PR and start running your anti-Hales business, but no, it's just really funny to look at it. It's been very entertaining. So you not only have these people that are sinking one another, but they're scrambling. There have been a few attempts at trying to rally the troops. You've seen Bruce doing that, for example. He's been trying, and so has 2L has been trying a little bit. But at the same time, you can see the defeat on them. They know that they have some real problems. They have a real problem with LP. But under that, the Lips thing, oh my gosh, Lips knew way too much. That's the problem with these conspirators, they get involved and they tell them a lot of stuff. They get them familiar with that. And then they have people that bounce. Today's going to be pretty fun to talk about anyway. We have some new stuff with Shara. We have one of the more interesting court documents that I've seen in a hot minute. And like I said today, it was pretty invigorating. I had a doctor's appointment today. So amidst all of that, making sure I'd already had my chat to make sure that this lawsuit, I want to make something clear too. I am not taking on a lawsuit to give up somewhere along the way. I'm taking on a lawsuit to take it all the way. Because this person, they've done this to countless other people. And people not involved in this has just been their MO. They've gone in and they've created content like they did with Hales. They created the Hodunk Hillbilly. I guess I'll keep going with that. I was thinking, how do I want to talk about the videos? We'll just call them what they titled them. They created the Hodunk Hillbilly crap. But they've done this to multiple other people. We showed you on a Rumble exclusive that they did that to their own family, but they also did it to ex-clientele. Anytime they decide to target it, it was part of their MO. And they never planned on bringing litigation. she screwed up. One of the things that it took me, I wanted to make sure when we went forward that that we had an actual claim. See, with claims, one of the things, like I've mentioned this before, but one of the things that she really did wrong was removing and adding. When she did that, she created a real problem, because she didn't just bring her her litigation and decide, "Oh, I'm going to drop it off." No, she went in, she dropped us off of it, and it was all bad faith. I mean, her entire lawsuit was bad faith. Remember, she didn't meet the requisites for even suing. Like for me, she didn't, under Florida law, she would have had to send me a cease and desist. She never did, because she never planned on doing anything with it. She never tried any kind of communications, anything, because it was a bad faith lawsuit. There was no ground in it anyway. But it wasn't even, you didn't even have to get to the material in it. The reason I say that it was a bad faith lawsuit is not because of what was in the lawsuit, but just because of her approach. And she knew that too. How do I know that she knew that? Because she brought up that same talking point on one of the streams that she was on. So she knew that she had to serve a cease and desist and let it set for X amount of days. So she didn't even take that first step with like myself, and the way that they addressed Megan Fox, for example. They didn't give the requisite amount of time. So that was a problem too. On top of the way that they delivered their quote unquote cease and desist, it was kind of fascinating as well, because she noted that she wasn't sure that that was the actual lawyer. She thought that that was lips communicating, and let that be known, and even mailed the address that's with the bar. So she actually tried reaching out and communicating, and that was ignored. Because I sometimes wonder, again, I think somebody was informed that things go on, but I kind of wonder, what their level of involvement with utilizing their own name was. Is it just you, or is Megan's involved too? I don't want to spoil any of the fun. I don't want to note any notes. It's going to be you're going to watch the ecosystem have a shit fit when this comes up. Okay. I mean, you guys are going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be very entertaining, just to know, because it's going to be this, it's just going to make them very mad. But yeah, Megan has a better claim than I do even. And what you want to do is you kind of want to link up with people that have good claims too. Megan, remember, you had lips with the revenge prawn, right? You had lips not only go out and distribute that, but admit what it was. So she actually admitted that that's what that stuff was. She called it by name as the revenge prawn. So Megan's got quite a good claim. Jeremy Hales has quite a good claim. There are a lot of people that were wronged at levels. Again, there is the misuse period of the judicial systems, the tools for justice. That is an issue. You can't just go in, haphazardly create litigation and try to terrorize people with it. Like that in and of itself is actionable. Now, the thing is, we are talking about a lawsuit that you're going to be in for it's going to take a hot minute. We're talking about a trial that probably it won't happen in 2026. It will be a long haul. You'll have all the discovery and everything else, and it'll be 2027 before anything comes up. But at the end of the day, it's something that needs to happen, because this person has done it to so many different people. and they decided that they would cause so many other folks problems. They aimed it, with lips. She decided not to just take aim at like the people with the microphone. She decided that she would go in and that she would take aim at just ordinary folks, folks that you couldn't make a case for being limited purpose public figures. People that were just, again, they would just be like an ordinary citizen with an opinion. Like you can't argue, like the people that are over on the Facebook group, it'd be very difficult to argue that those people are public figures in any way, shape, or form. Which means that when she's making videos of just an ordinary average person with an opinion, that runs into problems. It runs into some big problems there. But that mentality, what that tells you is that she would do this again to somebody, anybody that will target their own family. And depending on who they're talking to, some days there'll be a, oh, woe is me story, but some days it's much worse than that. But anybody that would do that, they're going to target other just random people out there too. They don't have any lines in the proverbial sand, as it were. So again, we've been signing on. But it is like 110%. I know the reason I'm saying it that way is because there are a lot of people that run their mouths saying that they're bringing litigation or they're doing this or they're doing that. And you see them on the other side of this thing all the time. And they don't do anything. There's a lot of talk. But it's because when you get into this, it's something that you have to hold the course with. You've got to realize that I'm willing to go to court. I'm definitely willing to get on the stand, be deposed, talk about everything that's going on. I have done a very good job of putting together my own timeline. Plus, there are many of you out there that have done really good work about putting together timelines too. So all of that stuff that's put together, I mean, this is the kind of case that could you, I guess you can lose any case, but this would be a real hard one. This is some of those slam dunk kind of stuff. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you kind of dream rolls around your way, but we'll have some more fireworks on it. But today was the day to start signing on. And again, Megan Fox, 100% in. Megan's she's very motivated. She's like me. I've talked to her a bit about it because I wanted to say, anybody that gets involved with you, you want to make sure that they're, they're feeling it. And Megan, she was wronged at a level that, again, she told these people if they kept messing around that they were going to end up in a place they didn't like to be. And she's actually been involved. Again, I'm a person that I don't sue. I've really never, I've skirted that because I don't see the value in getting mired down in lawsuits typically. But this one, like I said, it's also, it also proves a point. We told her too. We told her that she could have avoided all of this if she would have turned over again messaging with the ecosystem. It's funny, the ecosystem says that by the way, is blackmail. No, she wanted to come and involve herself in all of this stuff. She wanted to make threats. She wanted to tell us all that we would do something or else. Okay, all right. And again, she had she had no intention at all of going forward with litigation. Well, I very much do. I told her, you turn over all those communications. That's the deal that I'm willing to cut with you. Was willing to cut with you. Let me say it that way. I don't feel that deal is on the table anymore. Well, I suppose I would, I mean, again, I don't think anybody that I'm involved with now would would think the same way either. I don't think they would want to cut a deal either. Well, you know, everybody said, yeah, if you turn over everything you have and you make a public apology after she decided to send that garbage excuse over to 2L, pretending that she was in Italy and pretending everything was just hunky-dory and nothing had happened. You know, you don't get to do that. You don't get to tell everybody that you have been threatened by these people in the ecosystem, that you're scared of them, you know, that they treat you like garbage. I mean, you could see it spill out in public too. You know, you don't even have to guess at who had problems there. You could see it spill out in the public, but you don't get to play that. I mean, she could have just walked away from these people. There is no value in being connected to them. It's only risk. I mean, what value again do you get from them? You get no, she wanted to get more name out there, more exposure. Well, she definitely linked up with the wrong people for that. I mean, again, you want to get linked out to a few hundred people that their biggest claim in life is grifting some money for a barn dough and selling crystal peens online. Well, hey, I guess that's an accomplishment, right? But I ain't gonna get you your Netflix deal. You know, maybe you can hawk some Temu crystals too. But besides that, what else? What else you gonna do? Oh my God, what a mess, though. But I mean, that again, I had hoped that we'd get everything rolling this week, you know, everything publicly so you could see that. Because again, we've been talking about it. And the reason I keep bringing up where we are and how we're moving forward with it is because like I said, I want you to understand that this is happening. This is not a joke. I just signed legal documentation talking about, talking about the agreements. And again, I'm being very vague in that because, it's the contractual agreements between you and your attorney, your representation. It'll be a lot of fun. Yes, I agree with Cynic in Chief here. Discovery, that's going to be juicy. It's going to be very juicy indeed. In Jeremy's case, any discovery from Libs can be used against the others. That's right. I wonder if she'll default to avoid it. I wonder what she'll try to do with all of this stuff. You know, the other problem is, Cynic in Chief, you bring up something really good with the way this stuff is moving in general. Because these people have put all of this stuff, they're trying to put everything on hold. They're hoping that, I guess, some Hail Mary will come along, but you notice delays in this case, they actually do not help them. They help Jeremy Hales because Jeremy Hales has more time to recover information. He has more time for them to stick foot in mouth, to make more mistakes. I mean, look at the issue with Ray and 2L, practicing law without a license. What's really funny is they decided to attach themselves to a specific narrative with that, saying, Ray, he lives out in the middle of nowhere and I'm just closer to a post office, right? Well, that's actually not true because, there's this weird thing now that people know where they are. And again, I'm not showing this on the screen, but I'm discussing this because I think it's a good talking point. Now that people know where they are, they can look at a postal service near you. And guess what? Ray's 3 minutes from the post office. Guess how far 2L is from? 3 minutes. So there's the same distance there. Not only that, but going to a hospital, which they said he's having to go back and forth to the hospital. Fair enough, too. But when he's doing that, it takes 25 minutes to get there. Guess what he passes along his way? Post office. So he could have mailed his own stuff. But that's not what it was about. Somebody was trying to whip up his documentation and got caught. They thought they were being slick about it. That's a mistake that they made because, they're sloppy anyway. I mean, again, as I've said a million times, you can't look at a case and tell how it's going to turn out. I'm never going to tell you that Hales will definitively win anything. I mean, you can't do that. But I can tell you that if he's going to win, this is the best scenario. These people are the best people to actually set up against. And that's how I feel about Lips, for litigation with us. She is definitely a detriment for them. She also, I mean, she made some mistakes at a level that it was stunning to me. I've never collected information. I collect information on people. When I cover something, I always collect information. People used to make jokes about it because I keep folders. I keep folders on everything. And I itemize them out. It's neurotic, but at the same time, when you want to return to something, it helps. Now, with this, it got so crazy with Lips, I stopped getting information after a certain point because I didn't think there was anything else that she could add. It was quite literally too much. I've never felt that way about another person. So standing off against her in a courtroom again, she has admitted that she files litigation without the purpose of going forward. She's admitting that. She put that in a video. I'm sure most of you have seen it. If not, again, we can always review that on a live stream, a Rumble exclusive, one of those with Megan. We could review that when we go forward. I'm sure we will. But also, she made sure to bait people and then utilize that as her so-called evidence. When you look at bad faith, she was going out again. One of her major screw-ups, when you look at her evidence, for example, she decided to ask 3 people to roast her. One of those people was DJ Radis. DJ Radis did roast her. And when DJ Radis did, guess what? The stuff that he produced ended up in the evidence that she was saying proved that she was being targeted and bullied, So you can't do that. You can't incite people to an action. You can't say, do this. And then when they do it, scream, oh my God, how dare they do this? I'm being harassed. You can't do that. So, there's all these things that she kept doing. It amazed me. Like I said, I've never seen somebody be so sloppy about it. And there's also, again, there's piles of stuff that we've never made public. Now, some of that is because of sensitivity with people that are involved. I've tried to walk a very fine line because there are people that are her former victims, people that she's targeted in the past, that I think it might crank back up. I think if we talked about some of the stuff that I think we could talk about, for example, her litigation, but there's other stuff that we've been privy to, sensitive material. I'll just say it that way. And if it came up, I think it would get her ramped up and she would start targeting innocent people. And I don't think that's fair to them, which is better for a tug, super chat or a GoFundMe? Look, unless we need help, I won't mention that. If you want to support the show, that is awesome. Support the show, support the fun, enjoy it. You want to send over stuff also with, a super chat, or if, again, I would always encourage people, there are different ways to send money too, but don't do it because of legal fee. Yeah, if I need help, then we'll do that. Okay. But if you enjoy the show and you enjoy the fireworks, then most definitely support, but I'm not asking for anything. I'm just asking, are you having fun? I don't need anything right now. I'm good. I'm gravy, baby. I am. This is going to be a fun show, right? We're going to have fun with this one. And if we do need help, if there are a couple of things that if they needed, if certain things play out, we might need a time, like a small push on something here or there. But for the most part, I don't think we'll need that. I don't know yet, but right now it doesn't look like that. It looks like we're okay for right this moment. I would say if you want to help out with litigation costs, again, you sell what Jeremy Hales' cost. He's almost up to $400,000 in litigation fees. That is an unprecedented amount. I can't imagine spending that much money. But I also can't imagine having a business like his and having people targeted, So if you want to donate to the war coffers of somebody, that's who you should definitely donate to, because these people, they're breaking. They are. Lips wants out. She did. She very much wanted out. I definitively know that. She wanted out. That's why she dropped her. Now she again. They wanted to. They wanted to pretend that when she dropped this, she dropped it because she didn't want to be mired down in litigation for the next couple of years. Well, again, that's not my bad. She went out. She tried to cause us stress. She tried to cause us mental anguish and harm. And it doesn't work that way. You don't get to do that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter if, woe is me. And besides, I didn't, sir. Well, like I said, you made mistakes. She thought she had done this before. And when she faced off against people, that were not determined. They may have been annoyed. She may have caused them, some problems, but they weren't motivated. For me, like I said, I kind of live for this kind of stuff. It's kind of, I like laughing at stupid people. I like laughing at bad lawsuits. I like seeing people get theirs, and I really like distributing it. And when somebody wants to come at me, like I said this a long time ago. If you want to target me, you want to target people that I care about and stuff, I will make you pay for it. And Lips is my example right this moment, but I'm not saying I will limit. Now, would that be in the legal realm with everybody? No, but there's plenty of ways, legal ways, of course. I'm not saying when I say legal, I'm talking about the judicial system. You don't have to come after everybody in the judicial system. The ecosystem is such a fraud. You can come at them in the legal sense. Like again, look at this masterpiece so far. You have their major donor. He's walked away from them. He's sick of them. He's noted that. He's sick of them because they defrauded him and took money. That's amazing to me. Then you have, and you're talking about a guy that could have bought their, he could have bought them lawyers several times over. But they just couldn't maintain the facade long enough, which is funny to me. And I don't care how difficult he is. I don't care how disruptive he is. They needed him. They should be kissing his feet, because again, they can't afford this. They can't afford the war without him. They needed him, but they treated him like garbage. They embarrassed him. They ridiculed him. And I loved the fact that it blew up in their face. They almost got him back too. That was the real stunner to it. They convinced him to come back. They even got him to fall back in line for a minute, but they couldn't continue to treat him with any sort of decency or dignity, And yeah, he's a difficult one to handle. but they needed him. So they can't keep that up. Then, you look at the damage control right now. Again, you got Bruce playing the whole, ooh, $1,000. What's really funny is, just like we said, if you show them any kind of proof, they will change the rules to the. He was like, well, show me proof that any of these people have ever, called Hales a certain type of predator. So you show them proof. You're like, well, look at this post where it talks about little kids and that. Well, it doesn't say this specific. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? In addition to the signs, you have all of this other stuff that shows that this is what these people do. But that's deflection. That's them trying to flip the script. It is not working, because right now, again, with everything, the major key, Lynette Preston, they are really having problems, and you can see it. Again, there was a mod stream. We were talking about this yesterday, but we're going to have a Rumble exclusive to discuss this, because they had an 8 freaking hour stream, which is like, oh my God. But there was about an hour in it that somebody, and props to them, they know who they are. Props to them for sending it over. But they were like, check this out. This has value. This actually has some real value to it. So in listening to it, they talk about memorial bullshit. They talk about the race stuff. They make excuses for a whole bunch of crap. But in it too, they start talking about Lynette Preston. And they start talking about distancing. They're done with her. Now, of course, they won't give the money back. They won't give it to her. It's her money, rightfully, like I've said many times. I stand on that. I don't like Lynette Preston either. I'll make it clear. I don't want anybody, when I say this stuff, I don't want you thinking that I like or agree with somebody in anything else, but they're right in this situation. It's their money. So they're not going to turn that over, though. I don't realize how, I don't understand rather how you think you're going to go onto their property and do anything when you're also talking about how you don't like them and all this other stuff. You got all these major riffs. I don't know how you think you're going to go on there and add to their property, but they think that they've grown past them. Now that's a huge problem. And they don't realize how big of a problem that is. But ultimately they can't reel in all these egos, and they can't reset. That's a bomb you can't you can't put that back in. It's like blowing up an atomic bomb, Once you set it off in the ecosystem, nothing goes back in. Nobody will ever give money for Lynette Preston. They still give money to ThATuMBRELLA, which amazes me. Poor ThATuMBRELLA. You were just trying to be a saint. Now, of course, they also, on top of it, they're still dancing around the whole thing with Bruce and the bankruptcy money. I didn't know where I have no idea about the $6,000. I had no idea they were going to go this way. Again, they want to bypass liability with it. It's pretty funny to listen to. It's a good listen. I was very impressed by it. But they've got all of that. And then they have the lips problem. And lips, they know, is a major issue for them, because lips was let into their inner circle dynamics. You can tell, like I said, she's tacked into all of these conversations. When Bruce was taking aim at Randy, trying to go after him with bar complaints, which, interestingly enough, I think this is really funny. You have now ThATuMBRELLA and the gang whining about bar complaints, whining about contacting the bar. Isn't that something? They say that, that contacting is wasting time, and that's a terrible thing. They know better. And yet I've been included on how many freaking bar complaints, how many erroneous claims how many have they put out there? But in one of them, and I showed you all the emails on this, you have Bruce writing and Lips gets involved at a certain time. And you can see the familiarity. You can tell that all of these people have chatted. They're way too comfortable with one another. Now, again, with these types of folks, you know that they're going to turn on. It was only a matter of time that they turned on each other. You knew that would happen. The type of egos they have there. They also, like, what is their common threshold here? Like, what connects them? At best, some of them are connected by a hate for Jeremy Hales because they have some perceived slight. But like Lips doesn't. Lips wants infamy or fame. Got it, didn't like it though because it wasn't positive. She thought, I'm sure when Volman, when he gets involved, he told her, oh, you get involved with all of this stuff, and sure, people may respond to this, like his followers, but you'll pick up all this fame, fortune, the same thing that we've seen Bruce talk about to other people. I've seen his emails, like the Bruce emails. I figure this is the same advertisement that they have to everyone. And I figure they kick this to Lips too. If you get involved, you'll be involved on the ground floor of a case that's unlike any other. You'll get to come on these shows. It'll build up, your resume. But they figured we were all idiots. They figured none of us would do our due diligence. And with Lips, I'm sure that, I figure one of two things happened. Either they already knew her resume because they know that she's a certain type of litigious, like they accused Jeremy Hales of being litigious, and he definitely will sue. Like that is no joke. Like when he says he'll sue you, he will sue you for sure. Like that's true. But she's a type of litigious. Again, she'll file a lawsuit, but she never means to go forward with it. So it's kind of a different thing. They either knew that, or she went off on her own and they thought, haha, this is great. But I think they were under the impression that she was going to take it all the way. And they thought, this time she'll do it. This time, you've got to invest. See, even Bruce wasn't willing to go all the way. Even Bruce, when it came to the federal filings, he bailed. You know why he bailed? Because he told you. He made up some excuses, but in the middle of it, he told you that it was time and resources because it's very time consuming to get into litigation and it's expensive. There's those two things there. But, despite that, she pretended that she was going to go forward. But ultimately, even her email, it shows these people, like her last line in that, she said that, let me see, do I have that really close by? Give me 1 minute. Because the last line, her stuff, see, I can't believe, I guess she didn't think that we were going to take it all the way. She probably is sitting around telling her hubby that not to worry about it, that somehow in some way things will work out. But really, she is decided to link herself going forward into the people with this last line. Again, not to beleaguer this freaking letter. This letter is an important letter, by the way. Volpe has been throwing a fit about it for about a week. Every time it comes up, he throws a fit about it because she threw him under the bus. She said all of this was his fault. Now, I actually I can't stand that guy. But Lips is not a victim in this. See, you notice all of these people, when they get cornered, they play the victim. They blame somebody, and it doesn't matter. They're so used to it. It's kind of like Lynette. Every time Lynette gets cornered, she points the finger and says, this person over here is victimizing me. She just did that to 2L, and what did they do? They turned around and they pretended to be her victim. It was glorious to watch. It was a masterful thing. And guess what? 2L won that one. in that title bout, man, 2L has commandeered this movement that they have over there. She has. She's commandeered it. She moved in as PR, and she has taken over their game. She has grown it past Preston. They don't even need Preston anymore. It's amazing to see. Preston kicked out of her own movement. Holy crap. Who would have thought? You watch, like the hate and stuff, oh, it'll grow. But even Lips is like, just know I'm upset with many involved in this, even some who you are against. So that shows the cracks in the facade. But she tried to, she's linked in with them. You watch as people move forward. She's really going to get antsy. Like I said, I was very serious about my demands. I was very serious about suing, and they didn't reach out at all. They didn't take it seriously at all. They thought they could do whatever, and they're under the mistaken impression that we do not have a case, that we have no grounds to sue on, and we do. We absolutely do, But she's under the mistaken impression, and she's, I know this because she said it before, that she does not think that anybody but Hales has a way to sue her, because she thinks that service was the only requirement in it. That is a very mistaken impression. It's going to be glorious to see kick off. But again, I bring this up because I don't want you under the impression too. You see the ecosystem, and some of the ecosystem viewers, they pump over. I don't want you under the impression that when I say I'm going to do something, that it's like those people. Oh no, I told you that we would go that way. I figure she's a point too, in the fact that they've made things personal in going after people's families and other stuff. And I told Lips that would be a problem, and Lips decided to go that route too. So as far as this, again, I guess we get to prove the point on somebody who also thinks that, again, this won't go all the way. She probably thinks that we don't want to go. I absolutely welcome going all the way. Because again, we have so much information on her. But signed the paperwork today. Megan, I believe the same way. Actually, what am I saying? I know Megan the same way. What do I mean believing? I know. I don't need to be vague with her. I can say that. She'll talk about it on Monday. I'm sure we'll have more material on that. But yeah, Megan, 100% isn't. It's going to be fun. When you see the whole announcement on it, it's going to, oh my God. They're just going to flip their crap. What's really funny, again, like Megan and myself, we have our own opinions on this case, but we had no intent. Again, Jeremy Hale's, he's the guy handling his own thing. I believe Jeremy is in the right, but as far as suing ecosystem people or anything like that, man, that's his fight. I believe it. I back what he's doing 100% because, like I said, I think he's in the right with it after looking at all the information. But being a participant, no, I never planned on doing that. But she brought us into that. So you have, again, it's a strange little thing where you have Hale's doing his thing. Hale's going after her, and he is 100% right in what he's doing with that too. And then you have all this other, aimed at us. It's so glorious. You folks, you're gonna enjoy it. It'll be a good show. Yeah, look at that. I'm entertained good. I wonder though if the anti-ecosystem paid any of these folks from fundraising. I wonder. I don't know the answer to that. I can't definitively say yes. People got paid. But what makes me wonder about that is we're talking about people that will not get involved in something for a long period of time without a paycheck. They ran a $10,000 fundraiser and people didn't give, and they shouldn't have in the ecosystem. You know, one of the few things that people in that ecosystem got right was not giving money to that. Why? Well, I mean, again, look at the background of at least one of those players. In fact, when that guy came in, I think that there were many people that were involved that got I'll say people wrote me and told me, I looked this guy up. This is crazy. Because again, 4 years in freaking federal, and it's not just the 4 years. The 4 years are one issue, but it's why. Why was this guy there? Well, he was there because of fraud. He was there because of extortion. The very things that we have been saying, these are a problem over here. You have two people that you can definitively point to and be like, yo, these people have been involved in fraud. I mean, and some of it eerily mirrors what we're talking about with all of this mess. Now, as a byproduct of everything that's been going on, have you seen, like Shara posted today? It's interesting. So let me pull this up. I want to show you something today that actually got posted. So Shara posted about 4 hours ago. Now, again, she's posted, I think tomorrow. Give me 1 second, I call. You have to excuse me. My voice is still here. It sounds better than yesterday, but I will have to cough here and there because this weather is awful around here. But, oh, by the way, too. So this is the third day that I've been talking about, you know, reclaiming basically, you know, anything. So today I managed to, so let's see, Wednesday, I walked 3 miles. Again, it took me all day to do that. Yesterday, I actually hit over 5 miles, 12,000 steps. Today, I've walked 3.5, and I might get in. That's like 8,100 steps. So, you know, I've been trying for a baseline of 7,000, you know, not overdoing it, which it's been not easy. But you want to hear something funny too before I talk about this? So I told you about the specialist I changed over from. The second specialist, they tried to call me today to finally set up appointments. I told you they were so hands off that it was ridiculous, right? Well, I've already had a med change. It's been weeks. They finally decided to get around to calling to schedule me an appointment because, yeah, they want more money, I guess. And it's like, yeah, no. I've already seen another doctor and did all of this other stuff. I have moved over to Vanderbilt. That's crazy, man. You know, but I thought that was telling. So Shara today, though, posted this. She said, this is a public statement. It's dated, again, today. So today, 2L1 just made more evidence necessary. Seems EMP is feeding her more egregious lies about me to try and take the heat off of what she's done and continues to do to too many people. Oh, gotta rate her 1 second. Yes, kiddo, what's up?
What's up? I almost fell on the steps. I had to grab the tire wall.
Yeah, you better be careful with that. That won't be a fun fall, will it? Have you been playing with these monster teeth?
They're not monsters.
Yeah, this is you know what that is? It's a Play-Doh thing. Yeah, it's a big Play-Doh teeth thing.
Look, it matches my teeth.
Yeah.
At least I have all my front teeth and there have a gap.
Yep. They got it does.
It matches your teeth though.
Oh yeah. Hey, give me a hug though. I gotta cover this. You gotta give me a hug. Tomorrow.
What day is it?
It's Friday. It's a lazy day if you wanted. Remember, I told you could have a lazy day for tonight. You want to have your lazy day?
Sissy won't open her door. I just want Phil to play Uno with her.
You just want to. If Sissy doesn't want to open the door, she doesn't have to.
I just want the food.
No, she just made you ramen. She made you some more food.
Her mom opened the door. How is her going to give me food without opening?
She just made you food.
I think I get.
You just ate and ate before that and ate before that.
No, I
Yeah, you did. You had all those. You had all those fried. You had that ramen stuff. You had that God, what's that other thing? What was that thing you ate before the ramen? Was it? Did you eat mac and cheese? You ate some. Didn't you eat some mac and cheese too? I think you did.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did.
You call me lip gloss.
No, I'm not talking about you eating lip gloss. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about you eating food. I mean, hey. I'll message Susie and see. Let's see if she's
Square ramen. I want square ramen.
Square ramen. Did you eat all your square ramen before?
Yes. And I did have square ramen ever.
But you had round ramen. My bad.
I did have square ramen in a long time.
Oh. Well, look. Go tell her. Look, I messaged her there. See it? It's right there. She's up too. Look, she's messaging back. So go tell her.
Hurry up, Elizabeth.
Go tell her. Go tell her. What
does it say?
She said she will. Go tell her. Go ahead.
Square ramen, okay?
Close the door too, baby. Thank you. They're so funny. She's convinced that when she says square ramen, she's talking about the packages that come in. She's convinced that ramen that comes in the square packaging is different than the one in the circle packaging. Same company. It's just got a different package, but she's convinced it's better in a different shape. So that's what she's talking about there. She's like, I need that. It's so funny. She thinks the shape makes it taste better. And then like it doesn't have anything to do with the taste. Like the shape of the package. It's the same kind of package. We're not talking about like a different type of material or something. It's the same thing. It's just a different shape on the package. She's like, the square and the circle, they don't taste the same. I'm like, they taste exactly the same. So funny there. All right. So anyway, let's hit this. So today, 2L, I'm going to start this over, just made more evidence necessary. Seems MP is feeding her more egregious lies about me to try to take the heat off of what she has done and continues to do to too many people. I will find screenshot evidence of MP telling me those sickening things about Hales. And she did this from the start. And about others from Otter Creek. So it wasn't just Jeremy Hale she targeted. It was also others from Otter Creek. That's interesting, isn't it? And we've heard, again, about some of those things that she was saying. About Hale's supposed plan to, now an ex-elected official. Again, crazy crap. But the stuff that doesn't even sound like it would be true. Except, I'm saying true as in they would not even allege it, is what I mean. Not true as in it was happening. I'm saying true as in you wouldn't even think someone would say that was true. But they made a police report about it. So that gives you the idea. And some of the players that are involved with the ecosystem that made the reports are nuts too. But the only thing I did was believe her for a while. And that's what God needed me to do. Believe her for a while. Yeah, actually, you got a lot of evidence firsthand that we would have never had otherwise. We'd have never been able to see inside the ecosystem. So, Shara, 100%. The time she spent around these people. Yeah, and Bruce, again, if you haven't watched the last couple of videos that she's put out, and Shara has put out, they're pretty interesting because Bruce has been trying to strong arm her recently. He's been trying to tell her, you will do this, you will do that, or I'm going to sue you. I'm going to bring lawsuit. Apparently, that wasn't the only person. Apparently, he has a fixation on people that have S as the first part of their name. So it wasn't just Shara, you know. But she prompted me to search videos for her on the subject because of the diaper photo from the start that MP publicly posted, while also prompted me to find criminal evidence for the sheriff. I found nothing criminal, and so did the sheriff find nothing, and it's documented. And that video you, Lisa, referenced is nothing. Publicly setting me up beginning August 2024 and harming my health and blaming me for your sickening behavior as you entrap people with horrific lies to win their hearts. Actually, I think it's to win their money. It's not to win their hearts, you know. I think it's to win their dollary dues, you know. If you can win them over and scream and cry about victimization, then of course the money followed. That worked for her. So, blaming me for your sickening behavior as you entrap people with horrible lies to win their hearts while using an innocent child to do so should not be corrected with evidence, according to your attorney, and his threatening emails to me, ongoing threats. So she's saying she's still getting threatening emails from Bruce. That's wild, isn't it? You would think a federal witness would matter, but what we've learned from the court systems is that some of these people act with impunity. They can make all the threats they want. Nobody's done anything. This is a horrific nightmare I can't escape. And I was begged into it, working. One of them went to open the door, and the other one shut it. Yeah, that's what that is like. Into it while working only on the kindness of my heart. You devastated lives while expecting no necessary evidence. Where 2L and MP are going is only making more evidence necessary. Didn't MP just publicly claim on YouTube yesterday that she said nothing about me? Yes, that is true. She threatened you too. She absolutely threatened Shara. She's threatened her. She said she gave some double talk nonsense about how she wasn't threatening while making a threat. We'll pull that up in a second just to make sure everybody saw that too. But where did that come from, 2L? Where did it all come from? 2L, this is your public notice. I'm now taking notes for a possible lawsuit against you for your public post today due to your malice. You have stepped into legal zone once again. I have fully documented everything you have done to me all along. Yeah, that's another thing. I think if she really wanted to, she could go after her 2L. You'd have to be smart about how you put it together. But some of the stuff that see, this is the problem with 2L. 2L can't sit back and formulate opinions on something and base it on an item, like connected to something. She'll just make up shit, throw it at people. You know, like she was saying that they had an iPad full of things that they were going to launch against Shara, and tried to use that as some type of definitive proof so she could just make any accusation she wanted. Well, the problem was they weren't connecting it to any sort of reality. So, too bad. But Jeremy's the victim, 2L. And you are no different than MP. I very much agree with that. From what I have seen, I think that these people, it's like they attract people that are almost carbon copies of one another. It's pretty wild. The harm you, MP, and B are causing in Jeremy's life, and my life, and others, and my health, is compensatable under law. No matter what you do to me, I will stand with the truth. You're not going to stand in the truth. It makes me laugh every time. I'm going to stand in the truth. And will continue to place the child first. Lisa, the lies you are stating about the biological family and the adoption will be corrected with the real truth. They're suffering enough. So she's promising to supply evidence 100%. If you look at her last video, there are statements that LP makes, again, that are the same type of calling Hales a predator. Yet again, making statements like that. But she's like, hey, there's more proof of this. You want to say that it's not. They're also, the ecosystem, they're trying to double back. Again, a lot of this is all diversion, though. They really want people to forget about everything that's happening with Preston. They want us to forget about all the cracks, everything with lips. They want you to get sidetracked and forget about that stuff. And I do want to watch the shit show here. I mean, I definitely love watching all of that. But do not forget everything that's going on there. That backdrop. They want to flip that page. They are desperate to. So what they're trying to do is double back to talking points that actually have already been. They've already been covered. They're pretty well worn. They want to use. They want to double back to John and talking about the signs. Where he wrote the signs. They're now trying. They're trying to go back to that wasn't actually about the signs that talk about Jeremy Hales. Those are about political signs. Really? Because that's not what the discussion thing was. They weren't talking at the time about political signs, and they damn well know it. They were talking about those signs that were found all around Otter Creek. She threw John under the bus. She made a very definitive statement about John Cook, and because he's always been the patsy. John Cook is their patsy, and John Cook is too dumb to understand that. Either that, or he just doesn't care because he's too dumb to care. One or the other. It all rolls back to do dumb. I just don't know which one is too dumb to what, So crazy, though. Check this out. You want to see a really funny document? You want to see something really, really funny? So in the in ThATuMBRELLA. Nope, I got to write her one more time. Yeah, hey, yeah, you getting your ramen now, right?
Sissy got me circle ramen, but I won't swear well because I didn't have.
Oh my gosh, they're the same. They're the same ramen. They are the same. They're from the same company. They are the same kind of ramen.
But I won't swear because I haven't had it in a long time.
Look, Sissy, if she made you circle ramen, she made you circle ramen. Okay.
I want to.
I'm not getting involved in that. You need it. Yes.
Meow, meow.
No, if it's already been made, it's already been made.
Meow.
Go eat your food or else. You're not going to get anything else. Go.
Meow.
Yeah.
Meow. Meow. Meow.
Okay. Hey, kitty, go eat.
Meow.
Go eat. Hey, go eat your ramen, kitty cat.
Meow.
Okay. Love you.
Meow.
Hey, love you.
Love you too, love.
All right. I swear. She's so funny. All right. Hey, close the door for me, baby. Thank you. I swear. You see, she's convinced that the ramen are different. I'm like, they're the same thing. It's the same brand. They're the same flavor. They just have a different shape. Oh, it cracks me up. Okay, so this is an awesome document here. All right, you won't even believe this. This is too funny. This is from ThATuMBRELLA. This is document 100. This is the affidavit of the process server. Now, if you don't know what happened with this, by the way, let me just note like the insanity that is taking place around this here. We have had Keezy. All right, now as far as he is concerned, he says that he was never served. The story, however, around how he, quote unquote, never got served is pretty fascinating. And we have the process server telling us about the chase and all of that, that you heard about with, oh God, this is so crazy. All right, so you can see Again, they're discussing what it's about, case number. I redacted certain items, like address. I actually took that out of the complaint. But, they're talking about now. You get the form at first, but then you get the breakdown. Now, the breakdown is when it gets good because this stuff is crazy. So, listen to this. On July 7th, 2025, that's where we kick off. Process server was assigned to serve a federal summons and complaint, United States District Court for North District, Florida, on the 10th. The process server, they commenced the attempt to serve. I'm going to say just Keezy. I'll refer to him just as Keezy most of the time at his place of residence, but was unable to. Additional attempts to serve were made on the 12th, the 14th, and the 15th. On each of these dates mentioned, he was purposefully avoiding being served. Now, it's really funny because they have bragged over and over again that they were going to take Jeremy Hales to task. They were going to go into court. They were going to show him the what for. You remember all this big talk, like they were so tough and everything else. Well, as the process server is noting, and this is going to get crazier, by the way, but they're noting who's dodging. He's 100%. He's trying to avoid all of that. So on the 15th, he went through extreme measures to avoid being served. Oh, this is going to get crazy. So at approximately 5:30 p.m., the process server observed him leaving his residence operating a Ford F-150 bearing Florida registration registered to him. At that point, the server made eye contact with Mr. Keezy and waved the summons and complaint papers at him after gaining his attention. So, look, they make eye contact here, right? The server's like, yo, I got these papers for you. I've got this right here. I am here. Well, he continues to drive. And the process server followed Mr. Keezy, who led him around town for approximately 10 minutes. Now, during this time, he was being followed. The server made several further attempts to get his attention when it was safe to by flashing headlights and made numerous attempts to pull alongside him. So, during this 10-minute interval, the person, as long as they could safely do it, they were flashing their lights. They were like, yo, I got this stuff for you. Tried to pull up beside him like, hey, you are going to get served. These papers are here. I mean, imagine this in your mind here, okay? When the process server attempted to safely change lanes, Keezy would quickly get in front of him. So make sure, no, you can't get in front of me. You can't. This is developing into I want to outrace. But Keezy arrived at a stop sign. There was another vehicle in front of him. He drove around the right side of that vehicle onto the curb, nearly hitting a stop sign to squeeze past the vehicle and made a right turn. Now, I can't imagine that. Like these are your big tough guys out here that talk all this smack that pretend that they are so testosterone fueled. I'll show him. They're going to hide out at their compound. And when they're not doing it, they are so afraid of the process server that they engage in dangerous behavior. They pull up behind another car, and to get around it at a stop sign, they decide, go off-road, drive around them off-road, almost clip the sign, driving onto the curb. I mean, that's nuts. But after the server came to a complete stop, the server also made a right turn, continued to follow Keezy. Every attempt to get him to pull over was unsuccessful. Now, this is where it gets kind of crazy, because what we're finding out is the employment at sheriff's office here with Sumter County, you have deputies go out to impede this. Now they already know what's going on because one of the things process servers do, they inform the police that they're going to be in an area. That way, if they get a call, they don't end up getting pew-pewed, you know? The police know that they're in that area, that they're trying to serve something. Now, again, that's how they avoid getting harmed in there. But somebody's wife works with the police. So that gets a little, well, let's just read along. So shortly after, the process server was stopped by two Sumter County Sheriff's deputies, Senior Master E. Hinderhofer and Senior Master R. I'm going to say M. Malice. I don't know how to pronounce that. And was issued a traffic warning citation for running a stop sign. Now, the processor immediately informed the deputies of the urgent need to also stop Mr. Kesey, but the request was ignored and went unjustified and allowed him to continue to drive away. It was later learned that while Mr. Kesey led the server around town, he called Sumter County Sheriff's Department, where his wife was also employed. Holy crap, man. That's nuts, dude. That is absolutely nuts in here. Furthermore, as part of the protocol, the server called into the sheriff's department to inform them of the area they work in for the day and for how long they be on site. So right here, it tells you the process server, it's part of their protocol. Again, what you have to understand, part of their freaking protocol is to call in and to tell them. So they knew that this process server would be in the area. They knew exactly what they were doing. And yet they impeded the process server. So you have this guy driving crazy and erratic. When he's doing that, he's calling in for assistance at the same place that his wife works. Sounds a little sketch, doesn't it? Mr. Kesey did not leave his residence until approximately 6 p.m., which is the time the server informed the sheriff's department their day would probably end. Now, isn't that sketchy too? So, dude stays on his property until the time that the sheriffs were informed that the guy would be leaving. That sounds really weird. I mean, doesn't it? You have a guy that has dodged being served all of these times, like won't come off the property when he needs to come off, though. He seems to know the timing of the process server when they're going to leave. It sounds like he's utilizing the very services that he has to tell. Like, that sounds bizarre, doesn't it? Let me roll down here. Give me a second. There's other stuff in here, you know. There's another page. So I'm just trying to make sure that there's nothing right here. You know, I'm making sure that there's a few numbers in it, and I'm making sure that the numbers are yeah, I'll show you what I'm talking about there. Okay. I was making sure that these weren't licenses or addresses. You can see where they talk about case law, you know. So that's not the problem. Yeah. So the process server returned to Mr. Kesey's residence and posted federal summons and complaint to the entrance gate according to. So again, they have case law they can do it on, you know, because they keep saying that you can't do this, you can't do that. The process server's like, yeah, actually you can. The server attempted to call him, but the call went to voicemail. The server remained near the residence until someone returned to the residence. A female, believed to be Mr. Kesey's daughter, arrived home operating a Buick Envision bearing registration redacted, which is also registered to Kesey at his address. I informed her that the summons and complaint is for Mr. Kesey. She removed it from the gate prior to unlocking it and took the summons and the complaint inside. Now, that action aligns with Florida Statute 48.031. So you have disaligning, you have somebody that was inside of the residence take it into the residence as well. So they removed it, they took it in as well. It's going to be really hard. Like, again, they love to play this game. Like, you have 2L saying, I've never been served. Well, the court says you're served. So you're pretty much screwed on that. You keep whining and complaining that you weren't served. This right here, I have the distinct impression that this is going to hold up too. You know, the court said that as long as you can provide proof that this person, they were served, then things get to go forward. Well, this is service. This is his works, you know. And remember, when we were reading the documentation where the judge talks about why you could add more time, he was talking about people that purposefully dodge their summons. They're purposely dodging the server. Yeah, I mean, it sounds so crazy here. So furthermore, this is the same individual I saw the prior day operating the same vehicle with another female that she was exiting residence. The server asked her if she lived at the residence. Her reply was, "We don't live here." As the process server was parked near the subject residence, partially in the neighbor's driveway, two Sumter County sheriffs, the same two that pulled the server over, or pulled over the server earlier, arrived at the residence, drove past me and onto the subject's property, where they remained for quite a while. As the two deputies were leaving the residence, they approached the server and informed the server had to leave the area based on the premise being on the subject's property, which in fact the server wasn't. The server departed the area without incident. So this sounds pretty jacked up. Same two cops that you had that decided they were going to write up, you know, they're going to let him escape. Then they get a call. They respond to the property. You know, the process server, as they note there, they are partially in a neighbor's driveway. So they're parked near residence, but they're parked partially in a neighbor's driveway. So that's not going to be on that person's on their property, right? That'll be on somebody else's property there. They're being told they have to leave because they're on this person's property. So it sounds like they are using law enforcement as a form of intimidation. Small town Bubba law enforcement bullshit. They think they'll get away with that. That's why, again, that's the same mentality, again, that you run into with Levy County. That's why, you know, people don't want to hear that that kind of mindset. It exists, but it absolutely exists. These places out there, I mean, you have to be careful. That person, you notice this server, he was like, I'm out of here. Like, I am going to leave when he was told that. But you see all of his efforts and everything else. Like, again, all of those, they comply 100%. This person knew that they did everything they could to dodge. I mean, it's craziness, man. Remember, all these people were such tough guys, too. Like I said, they talk so much smack about how they wanted to get in the courtroom. It's funny, like Miltos, for example. I think that is beyond hilarious because, you know, Pork Chop there, he kept saying over and over again that he wanted to get involved in litigation. Come on, bring it. You know, I want to get in there. I want to. But okay, well, accept service then. If you wanted it, you know. I mean, that was 100% what you wanted. Like, these people talk a big freaking game about how much they want litigation until it comes to their doorstep. Then suddenly it's all terrible and they're all being bullied and harassed. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? You got to admit it's pretty good. All right. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to cover some super chats now. I'm going to go rest my voice, and let's get that started. I think, I like going through super chat stuff anyway, because we get to talk about all the fun stuff. I'll hit these, and there's some that came in through PayPal too. I'll hit everything here. Okay. So Ball Python King, what's up, man? Thank you. Appreciate you, my friend, for Tuck, the verbal assassin. Indeed. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love making fun of these people. They are so stupid. They are. They say it's so mean. By the way, I saw a really funny thing. I saw a clip from an interview that Miltos did where he was crying about how we laugh at him and, because of his just ridiculousness. He was like, they're so mean. They talk about whoppers and my weight. But he was like, well, I do parody and making fun of people the right way. So apparently, I didn't realize this, but apparently he had made a song where he's, I guess, making insinuations, because I guess he's never been around a woman. So if a woman co-hosts with you, there has to be something illicit there. It's very weird. So I guess, it shows the mindset of somebody. Like he claims apparently that he's asexual, right? That means he's not attracted to folks. But I don't feel like I'm going out on a limb here and saying that there's not a lot to offer with that person. They're not what I would call a prize catch. So maybe somebody that, they're like the kryptonite of women. Maybe they would think that any woman that is around a man, something must have, there must have to be something off with that. That's so weird though, man. I can't imagine how lonely a life has to be where you can't have female friends, honestly. Like I'm not talking about, oh, look at me, I'm in this family. I can't believe they just blow my mind, because they pretend that they have a family over there. It's like, what's his role in his family? They kicked him like a dog. What is he, the unwanted stepchild, or the pet that unfortunately, it has to run off and live in a barn. I don't understand his role in that, because he ran off with his mental health time because 2L and Ray turned on him. They talked to him like a dog. And then he comes back to take up for those very people. And they were all like, well, families have disagreements. Oh my God, dude. You don't. You do not. It was public too. Like, that's the other thing. If I have a problem with folks, I try not to make public a spectacle out of it. You know what I mean? Like, you probably would not. If I'm doing my job correctly, you wouldn't know I have a problem with someone, because why should you? Right? I'm not talking about ecosystem weirdos. I'm talking about, like, if for some reason there's a problem with somebody out there, you shouldn't know who I like or dislike. You should think I like everybody. That's a proper business. That's how it should run. And that's being decent. Now, again, I'm not talking about ecosystem weirdos. I think they've earned my disdain, but I'm just talking about people who just are out there covering the same kind of stuff. But these folks, they'll latch on to, it's so desperate. They latched on to people that hate them, and that they said that they couldn't stand. Like, Miltos, I was looking at some of the the early stuff that he had to say about John Cook. Oh man, terrible stuff, because he was absolutely right on John Cook. Then he gets in there shilling for him and talking about him wearing his shirt and all this stuff. Are you kidding me, man? I mean, you become these people's footstool. It's sad in its own way. Like, how desperate do you have to be? Like, it's sad. Go out and make some real friends, man. Like, go out. I mean, I don't even mean that to be a dick. Go out and make some freaking real friends. Be a decent human being for once. Don't turn on the people that you befriend. I read the communications between you and Slug, and that ain't the way you treat people that's supposed to be your friends either. I mean, it's just weird. It's bizarre. So much drama and bullshit. But it was so funny. He said he was crying about how we were laughing about the Whopper and stuff. That's off the table. It's like, are you kidding me, man? Dad, what's up? Thanks for starting with being here, watching WWE Friday Night SmackDown tribute to the immortal Hulk Hogan. Hey, appreciate you, my friend. Anyway, and it's always there for replay. I never really got into WWE. It just wasn't. Like, now I know Hulk Hogan from. Of course, you couldn't not know it from that time period. Like everybody knew who he was, but he was also involved in movies and everything else. He was involved in absolutely everything. So, and just what a crazy week. Fallen Hero, thank you. Drop that $3 super sticker. Appreciate the super sticker, my friend. By the way, and appreciate you. Max Lab, thanks for the crazy day. Ecosystem going down. Shara's about, yeah, indeed. I mean, they've been trying, like I said, for diversion. They've been throwing out random shots all over the place. You notice that? It's not that they didn't specifically just take aim at just one person. Now they go so hard at Shara. What's weird is, when they go hard at people, you know what that tells you, by the way? They think they're a weak link. They think they can crack them up or hurt them. And Shara hasn't cracked up. She's actually stayed the course. She's maintained it. But that's what they say. They go after people that they think they can not just get a reaction from, but they can get a reaction from that will be one that will help them out. Like for me, like very few of these people directly don't try anything with me. When they do, I make fun of them every time. And they don't really like that. But apparently, like, BBB is still mailing and threatening certain folks. Like, if he mailed me some kind of fucking threat letter, I'd read it out here and I'd respond to it publicly. Like, forget all that bullshit, But he's been writing people threatening litigation. We've seen the letters, He's telling these folks that he's going to bring some lawsuit. It's going to be a massive lawsuit unless you comply or else. Now, again, I wonder if Bruce really wants it anymore. Because it's become such a, with the ecosystem stuff, they got to hang on to it. Because if they don't stay the course somewhat, then they look like massive hypocrites. And, they're in litigation. They talk themselves into a lawsuit with Hales. Trying to ruin him. They don't have if they had their ability, I think most of them would abandon Preston right away if they got the chance. Like, they're already doing it. So, I mean, you may think, well, what do you base that on, Tom? I base it on, like, their behavior recently. They've been dropping her like a bad habit. So, I think a lot of them are absolutely looking for, like, the appropriate moment where they can cut bait and run. But yeah, man, Max Lab, you're right. Appreciate you too. And by the way, let's see. Hey, thanks for the two. Hale's post this morning today. Oh my God, Flea's going down. Which post was his? I don't remember. I got to look again. I'm trying to remember what post that was. I can't remember which one it was. Give me a second. I got to look. It's funny because there's so much that happens in a day, you know. It's so crazy. Like this stuff is, I don't know, man. It's hard to keep up with. Oh yeah. This. I forgot about this. Let's pull that up too. Glad you mentioned it. Yeah, this is something I mentioned was coming because I'd heard about it, right? But I didn't show the like anything like this. So this is the Florida Bar Unlicensed Practice of Law complaint form, and you can see where he actually filled out a complaint about it, where he's saying, you know, in the federal case here, you have a non-lawyer, Lee, a full-time Florida resident of the Villages, and the co-defendant with a non-lawyer, Raymond G. Bonebreak Jr., who is 81 years old, full-time Iowa resident, where he broadcasts his YouTube channel solely for the home garage of these two. They operate their own YouTube places, and it talks about, you know, she's been holding herself out as a paralegal. She's been doing all of this crazy mess. And then again, if you missed out on it, let me see. Give me a minute. I'm looking for the document here. If you missed out though, the other day, she had mailed something from, again, give me a minute. You know, all of her, she's talked very extensively about the area she lives in. Now, as far as her specific address, I have redacted all of that. But as far as that specific area, that's how I knew, like when I looked at this mailing, I knew that it had been sent by her and not by him, because they had videos they posted about the loofah mobile and all of that other garbage, all that other weird crap. Well, check this out. Here's the Ray action, the extension for time. If you missed this for some reason, and when you look again, the complaint was based on, if you notice the mark here. Now I left in the Florida so you could see it, but this address was 2L's address. It was mailed in by 2L, not by Ray. So isn't that bizarre? Isn't that weird? And that can be a real no. Now she's trying to again make, like I was saying before, she's trying to make excuses for that and to say, well, the reason I did that was because I was mailing it for him. He can't make his way to the post. Are you kidding me? Can't make his way to the post office. Again, he drives right past it. He lives 3 minutes away. He can very much go to the post office. But that's not, they messed up. They got really cocky. I'm sure that she was involved in writing that thing up because she thinks she's been mistaken for a lawyer. People think she is all the time. So God, Ray, if you are that dumb of a schmuck to think that she is adequate counsel, my God. I mean, I hope you go forward with her, but like I said, I would say this to anybody. Get a real lawyer, I mean, it's the best advice. These people in the ecosystem, the ego is there to think that these idiots, she responded to the wrong document with her, God, that makes my brain hurt. She didn't even know what documents to argue against. is that the one? Is that the person you want representing you? I guess so. I guess the answer is yes. But yeah, thank you for that, too, Max Lap. I've forgotten about that. Sheila, thanks for the 5. Good thing we all have screenshots and videos before lips removed and everything. Yeah, it's true. With lips, I mean, I have a ton of stuff. And so many other people, they put together timelines. You know, there was with Rosalind, there was a call for everybody to send in whatever. So folks sent in all of their stuff to fill in a time. And what we found was that her entire lawsuit, it was all a lie. There was so much of it that you could disprove. And that will come up in court. But it's not even arguing. See, many of these idiots in the ecosystem, they think like if we go to court, we have to argue her litigation she brought previously. No. We don't have, we can. But see, she dropped it. We won that. We absolutely won that. Because again, you know, it ended in our favor. So what a mistake for her. It'll get funnier. It'll have more fun. And yeah, we have a lot of evidence. Andre asked, though, about Megan there. Yes, involved for sure. 100%. And there's the cynic in chief, by the way. Again, appreciate you, brother. You know, with the discovery. Oh, yeah. I think the discovery stuff will be fun. We get to the discovery point. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. Like, again, we have a claim. She brought a meritless action and did not intend to carry it forward. That is the misuse of that resource. And on top of that, I hope we find time to squeeze in the fact that she's admittedly been operating as a, operating where she's supposed to be retired. I'm going to say it that way. She was operating under someone else's license. She said that. I mean, she bragged about it like it's not a problem. Oh, she, thanks for the 10 for attorney fees. Get a tug. Indeed. Like I said, not ask for it. If I need help, we'll talk about it. Okay. But right now, that's not the game yet. You know, I'm feeling pretty good about this, though. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Doreen, thanks for the 5. Hey, Tuck. What was Felicia talking about? Her post saying that Megan needs to vet her info in the P word? Well, I don't know, man. I have no idea. Who the fuck knows, man? These idiots, they blah, blah, blah. They spin themselves around in so many circles. Who knows? You know, again, they drop weapons of mass distraction, you know, and they're having a problem keeping the ecosystem chat in check. Because again, you know, people are waking up to this reality, and I hope people remind them of this too. They were asked to give over $100,000 to somebody that now they're saying, I'm going to move on from them. They're a liar. They're terrible people. So people were asked to give $100,000. Like, think about it. That's life-changing amounts of money. They were asked to give it to people that they are now treating like they're scumbags. They want to move away from. They say that they're exhausted by. They're saying the exact same things that Shara said about her. Isn't that weird? You know, Shara, they say, is such a liar and all of this other stuff. And yet, when it comes to MP, you watch, they'll turn on MP. MP's just got to say the wrong thing again. She already said the wrong thing once. She's going to mess up. And when she does, holy crap, it's going to lead to World War III out there, and it's going to be glorious to watch. But I don't know, man. I have no idea what the hell that stuff was about. I try not to bog my mind down And they're like, so many of their posts are attempts not just to redirect, but they try to rewrite the actual truth of things that go on. I figure what they've wanted to do is they've wanted to, again, they want to rewrite the John Cook signpost thing. And they want to pretend that nobody's ever called Hales, again, a certain type of predator. Like they move the goal when you're like, yeah, look what they said right here. That's what you're saying there. Oh, it doesn't have that exact word. Are you kidding me? The signs, what about them? Oh, well, they don't count. Are you freaking kidding me? There will always be an excuse for why something doesn't count. And Shara, like she said, she has more information where, you know, where LP made those claims. So we'll see. We'll see there. Ball Python King, thanks for the 20 there. Appreciate that. Attorney fees, nail her to the wall. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Like I said, if we do need attorney fees, I will set up a real GoFundMe. George, thanks for super chats or a GoFundMe. If I need something, if I fundraise for something, that would be a fundraiser, by the way. That's what that would be. Okay, just to make that clear. If we needed attorney fees for real, then I would, like I said, 100% tell you, and we would set a specific goal, and you would know where they went. But we haven't done any of that. Yeah, like I said, we're good to go right now. And thank you. I appreciate y'all. Mama Bear, thanks for the 10. Use it for whatever is needed. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You know, and thank you, Mama Bear, too. I appreciate you. What does your avatar say, by the way? I'm just curious. I can't read all the words on it. Fallen Hero. What's up, Fallen Hero? Thank you for that gifted membership, man. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Hazel Monte. Oh, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Oh man, like I said, Muppets make me happy every time I see them. Thank you. I love looking at all the just happiness that comes across. The Muppets are the best thing that have ever happened with it. Esha, thanks for the 10. Legal Fun, go get them. Well, thank you, appreciate that. Oh, maybe not. Thank you for the 10 giftos there. That is awesome. Maybe not. Maybe not. Love it every time, man. Thank you. Iron Rabbit, what's up? Thanks for the 20. And I'll be much, but help with fees. Yeah, like I said, I think we'll be good. Unless if there's one scenario. Well, there may be 2 scenarios where if it plays a certain way, we could maybe need help, but otherwise, you know, right now. George, thanks for the 5. Heck yeah, I'm having fun. See, that's what it is. Are you not entertained? That is what the show is about. Entertainment. It'll be good. It'll be fun. Cynic in Chief, thanks for the 2. Let us know what you need. Money, info, services. We'll see. We'll see what comes up. Money, I think, like I said, I think we're golden. Right now, things look okay. Right this minute. We'll see again if we need any, if people want to help back a case. Like I said, Jeremy Hales is almost $400,000 in the hole from going at these people, and they do anything to delay, which, you know, a delay tactic. While she plays bankrupt and indigent, he's forced to spend more money, you know. So if people want to help out, that is a good place to help for sure. If people do want to help out with some of the legal fees. Info. Yeah, I'm sure when we get to a certain point, I may call for more info just to make sure that there isn't anything that we're missing. You know, if there's more to fill in the blanks. Maybe there was so much. She was posting from so many different accounts and everything else that maybe we need some more fill in the blanks. She was posting from, God, how many accounts? Oh, what crazy. I mean, just lunacy. Absolute freaking lunacy. But we'll see. I appreciate it, Cynic. I'm sure, like I said, later on. Sheila, thanks for the time. Starting just in case, just save in case needed. Hey, well, if, like I said, if we need anything, we will definitely hit you all up. And thank you. Bunsen, what's up? Bunsen Rockinstone. Thanks for the 10. I'm here for it. I'm definitely entertained. Indeed. You know, it'll be a long haul, too. It will be. That'll be one thing, like, I would note, if you are in it to win it, it is a long haul. So we will be signing on for something that probably, you know how these people try to delay the conclusion of things, but even if it runs its own case, like, or its own course rather, in the case, it probably wouldn't conclude until 2027. Like you were talking about a long haul. You have probably a year plus, because that's the way the courts have been running now. They've been running out to 2027, like no joke. So it might get a little bit more expensive, but I doubt it. It'll probably be somewhere in 2027 that you'll be seeing any kind of result. So you have to sign on for a long haul. We'll see. It'll be amazing to see with that. Mommy, thanks for the 5. Well, we don't want to send money. I hope you know we want to send money to hurt them. Indeed. You know, that, you know, what you're saying in that, you want to make sure that these people, they pay for the injustices they've done. And that makes, that's as much of a motivator. For me, I want vengeance. I want to rain down a holy hellfire on these people because they deserve it. Again, you know, they want to mess. Look at the stuff that they've done to so many. It's not just a Jeremy Hales either. You know, it's doing to just regular people on Facebook. They have threatened so many just regular folks with litigation to ruin their lives. Like Lips kept doing that. You know, trying to stress people and make them quit. They doxed how many people? You know, just regular folks. How many folks in that Facebook stuff have they gone out and put out their information about, threatened to ruin their lives and more? Like they made a everyday thing out of it for a while. It was pretty freaking nasty. So yeah, they need to pay for it. Ellie, thanks for the 10 there. To do whatever you want with the money. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Woo-hoo, fun times with that. Hey, what's up, kiddo? Did you eat your ramen?
Yeah.
What shape did you end up getting? Circle? Was it good?
Yeah, but I was square because I didn't have it all time.
Why do you want square instead of circle?
Because I just want square.
Huh? That's what?
Because I just want square because I didn't have it a long time.
You think square's better?
Yep.
You know they're the same, right?
Well,
you know they're the same. They're made by the same people.
No. What shrimp and noodles are not shrimp?
They are shrimp. They're all shrimps.
No, they're not. There's different.
There's shrimps up there. They're all shrimps.
No, the pink ones are shrimps.
I know. They're all shrimps right now. Yeah, they're all shrimps. I know. Y'all like, I hate the shrimps, but y'all love the shrimp. So
I want the square one, though, because I didn't have it for a long time.
Okay. Well, did you eat your other one, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you like this?
Yeah,
Batgirl.
Yeah, it's
Supergirl?
No, you're right. It's Batgirl. You're right.
And Supergirl? What's other girl?
Yeah, there's other ones. I think there's a Wonder Woman up there and other ones. But here, hey.
Is there a Spider Woman?
Yeah. Yeah, Spider Woman.
Who's the other skills?
I don't know. You'll have to. I think there's a hot girl. Go look. There's a bus and everything else in the room up there. Why don't you go look?
I know.
I know. Why don't you go see what other superhero girls are up there? So.
Where's a Batman thing on her head?
There's outfits and everything up there. Go look.
I know.
Well, go look. Go play with them.
You.
I love you too. Go have fun. Love you.
I want square ramen though.
You cannot have square ramen right now. You just got circle ramen. Did you eat it all?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I'm a Pac-Man.
You are a Pac-Man.
Pack you.
I know. You are
Jimmy?
packing it away. You know? You can't be hungry still.
Yes, I am.
Ask Sissy if she'll make you one more ramen thing. Go ask her.
But what opened the door?
Well, tell her Dad said,
What?
please. Say please with it. Say Dad said please, will you do it, okay?
But what if I don't see the ramen?
Well, just go ask her. Goodness. I swear she was like a little eating midget. You wouldn't be able to tell. Like she's skinny as a freaking rail, man. She packs away. You know, she'll have a growth spurt. I have to make sure she eats everything. She'll just like she'll tell me she ate that one ramen so she can get the shape she wants. Hey, what's up? Maybe not too. Hey, thank you by the way. I did appreciate that by the way too. I didn't want to flip the page without saying that again. Maybe not. Thanks for the vibe there. Happy birthday. Hey, Peculiar Optics. What's up, Peculiar Optics, by the way? Have you been enjoying the show too? All the craziness. Oh, what a madhouse, right? Let me see. Let me find there it is. Here, let's bust this out.
Happy birthday from both of us to you. Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
We love to have you here. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Here's to another year.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, Lorraine. Are they eating enough protein and veggies? Oh, yeah. Yeah. We balance their foods out, too. Yeah, no. That's Grandma is very good about helping balance and maintain everything and making sure, you know. Grandma, I don't want to say micromanage. That sounds bad. But she manages it, you know. She's good at making sure, like, I don't forget anything. Because right now, like I said, my memories are getting better again with all this new stuff. But, you know, people have been helping out. She's been helping out with it. But, hey, Peculiar Optics, man. I hope you're having a good one. You know, I hope you were enjoying the show, too. Oh, something to bark about. What's up? Thanks for the 8 months there. Drive to shows to show much Wawa's. My trip is catching up on all the stuff. You know, Megan, make the miles mine. Go by with quite a bit of, rather quite a few laughs. If I could speak, that'd be great. Love you too. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I hope your shows go well. How well do you do in those, by the way? Like, are they competitions? Is that what that is? Or you just show off? You're like, hey, check this out. I'm curious. I've never really, I've seen some of the, like the contests, but I don't know if that's the same thing. It's cute though. I like the, I've always liked the pictures. I thought they were cool. Auntie M, thanks for the 20. I'm indeed entertained. I wonder though, again, you were noting, you said, I mentioned this before, anti-ecosystem paid those three, you know, these three ringers they had with paint chips, vomit, and lips for fundraisers. Since paint chips seems to do this for a living, they put a lot of energy and time into the shit show. Like I said, I cannot say definitively what's there, but it is, I think it is a very valid question because these are people that they are not gaining anything. Like, what are they gaining publicly? They can't meet their goals. People don't want to donate to them. So, well, why else would they stay in? And if they stayed in for pay, where would the money come from? Fun times, right? Aussie Wombat, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Aussie Wombat. Aussie Wombat. Like I said, one of the fun things here has been teaching the kids about what a wombat was. I thought that was fun. Lee, thanks for the 10 there. So did BBB take the money out of the Ohio lawyer fundraiser? Are you talking about the $1,000 that he's discussing? Or you want to know in general, has he taken that money? I don't know. I don't know if that money's been removed or if it's still sitting there. You know, that money he offered as a bounty is an illusion. There's no way they're going to pay that $1,000 or $2,000. By the way, you know, people are like, where's he getting that money? Well, the money, it's not real. So if people are talking about that, that's not real. They're never going to pay that money. It's never. That is a bad faith offer. They will never pay that. So, but if you're talking about just in the Ohio thing, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the money's still sitting because it's not moving, and they didn't meet their goal. They should have refunded everybody. Like the real thing they should have done is give back, because there were a lot of people that were involved in that. They were like, I just gave that money and I want my money back. So that Ohio money, I wonder if they realized too, since it didn't hit a funding goal and it never will, that they should demand their money back. Because if all that money isn't gathered when they set a certain price, and I would be worried that my money wouldn't go where it was noted. Because again, you know, they said that they needed $6,000 for something else, and they ended up with bankruptcy. Well, where's this money really going to go? Because I would never trust them and give them my money again. You've seen like what kind of a mess they made of the last one. People, when they ask questions about it too, like some of them, they get treated like absolute garbage. You know, hey, what happened to that? How do I know? I'm not the one who set it up. No, but you directed me. See, there's a responsibility to your audience. I tried to be careful about that. You know, and every now and then you can mess up. It happens. They should have been honest about it. You know, they thought it'd be a great idea. They thought they'd had some legal maneuvering. All it took was them, you know, treating their audience like fools. And instead of getting real legal representation, they decided for a delay tactic. And it cost people $6,000. They should be honest, but they won't. So that is a good question, though. Max Lab, thanks to Tug. I was the one that gave Shara the pose. Well, I'm glad that Shara saw what was going on with that. I'm glad she was informed for sure. That's good, man. You know, it's good. Like people keep all of us informed, like certain things too. You know, the major, the broad strokes of that, especially. You know, there's minutia that comes up sometimes, and it's like, that doesn't really matter, but then you have people like yourself that deliver some pretty crazy stuff, and that's appreciated. AKA the cat lady, thanks to Square Ramen is 100% better taste than the circle. I know you need a throw down with that. I'm gonna have to tell the little one too if she pops in that she's trying to say now. Did you hear her? She was like, it's a different flavor. They like that shrimp flavor. And I hate that stuff. I like a beef flavor or something, you know. The shrimp, it's like if you went to a ramen, like a sit down place where you're ordering like really good quality, you know, that might be different, but they're like cheaper. Spin Doctor, thanks for the two. Maybe bug has shape taste. maybe. I think actually some of it's obstinance, you know. She is very much opinionated, you know, like many of us are, but she's really funny about it at her age. You know, she sets her mind to an idea. Oh, it's 100% that. She thinks too that she's so old. Next week's her birthday, so she thinks with her birthday coming up, or she rolls up on 6, you know. She thinks she's 6 going on, like 60. It's amazing. Emma, thanks for the 20 there. Appreciate that. Trying to catch up. So proud of you and Megan. To think that this group of misfits conspired together all in the name of child, creating victims in their wake for money and fame. It's truly unholy. Love you guys. Well, thank you for that. And yeah, it is crazy, isn't it? Like they took this leverage point and they pretended that they cared about that. When in reality, like 2L, for example, they have made it very clear repeatedly, especially recently, that they are not pro-Preston or anything involving Preston. They are anti-Hales. That's why they were involved in it. They told you from the get-go that they didn't get involved with them because of that. But when they try to loop it back around to try to save face with their audience, because their audience was misled into giving so much money, they try to make it about the kid. Oh, but what about the kid? Oh, no. Because all that money, like the fence and stuff, all that'll be gone. Give it time. It already looks like garbage. I mean, it looks like hot freaking garbage. Give it time. You watch how fast that runs into the dirt. Rach thinks of the 5. Starting with the bug with the ramen. They just taste different in square versus circle. You folks, I'm going to show her all that. I'm going to be like, look at all these people that agree with you. Oh my gosh, I was totally wrong. Oh my God, it's so funny. And Wanda, thanks for the 10. Hey, Tug, just wanted to let everyone know. I was in a car wreck Monday. Oh man, I'm going to read it forward before anything. I'm all right now, but my son's new car is hurt. But got everything done to have it fixed. Well, it's good that, first of all, you're okay. You know, remember, material can be replaced. People cannot. So I'm glad you're okay. You know, that is the keep the first point in there. Second, I'm glad that everything can get fixed along with it too. You know, I mean, that's one of the lessons I learned with car ownership is unless I'm dealing with a very cheap car, that I need to have more than just a basic uninsured motorist. You know, I need collision auto repair. So if you can get everything fixed, that's good. It's very good. And I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad you're okay. Love and props to you there, you know. And Wanda also, thanks for the 5 there. My mom's 84, sister 56, grandniece 12, all birthdays today. Let's loop them in and give them a song, even if they hear it, great. If they don't, man, that's crazy. All of them have birthdays today, and what a range there from 12 to 84. That's amazing. Let's give it
Happy birthday!
happy birthday. Oh yeah,
From both of us to you.
and all of the
Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday. We love to have you here. Happy birthday. Here's to another year.
I love it. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. I love that age differential. That's crazy. Sue, thanks for the 2 there. Sue, I love the rhyme. I do. Ecosystem is a joke, but they aren't funny. Yes, indeed. It's I like to say they're not a joke, they're a punchline. You know, like when you get down to it, they aren't. They are indeed a punchline. So you were totally right in that. Cynic in Chief, thanks for the 2. Ecosystem is done with the F around. Yeah, and they are definitely finding out. That is true. You know, they find themselves mired in litigation, which, again, best case scenario, if some of them manage to squirm out of it, that could happen. You never know. But even then, look at what they've had for what? Now, again, 2L has profited. 2L off their channel. Again, they've made $28,000 in super chats without memberships, and with memberships they made more. Now again, you know, part of that money is not supposed to be theirs. So, you know, and again, I'm not begrudging anyone. All channel, you make money, you know, for sure. But for them, that is the most money they've probably ever seen from something like that. And they never thought they would make it. They'll never give up health because of that, too. What they'll do is they'll find out, like they keep talking about wanting to cover other stuff, right? They're going to find out that they don't have the chops for it. Like the ecosystem folks, there's not that many of them. A lot of their viewership is actually Hale's audience that watches their shit show. And they won't watch them cover something else. And these people, man, they are so awful and boring. They are. And they have no idea how YouTube works. That's the worst part. Most people are not going to tune in to somebody and listen to a fucking cricket for 5 hours, you know, chirp in the background and ruin something. God, that is maddening. You're not going to listen to the vocal quality that these people have. They talked about getting new equipment and stuff. Why not use it? Like, they still sound like shit. Like, you can put on a better show. Yeah. It doesn't matter how many graphics someone makes you or whatever. You still sound like crap. You know, you may thirst trap and try anything with this image catfishing, but at the end of the day, you still sound like you know. Yeah, you know how they tell people they like, yeah, you've got a face made for radio. Well, they don't have the voice made for it. they definitely have the face made for radio, and the voice, well, yuck. It is funny though. They really are on the find out part, aren't they? Rach, thanks for the did. I commented the other day about Mom doing well eating. She is officially off hospice. That is great too. And I'm starting PT next week. Dementia is on. I appreciate everyone giving support. Good, Rach. I mean, that's actually very good. Yeah, dementia is a strange thing to watch play out. You can have moments with clarity. Again, you know, people imagine it as just this constant, and it's not all the time. You know, you'll have moments of, say, perfect clarity, and then you'll have moments of, it depends on the progression of it. It depends on what level you're at. But yeah, I mean, you have days where people do just fine, and hopefully it'll stay, hopefully it'll get better. Hopefully you can have some recovery. I've found this, I'm telling you, with all the stuff that went on for me, I for a while was like, oh my God, this is like dementia or something. What's going on, with the medical problems and then the medication and getting that better. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a lot better. I still got that buzzing in my ears. I wish that would go away, but maybe something would, maybe you're fine. Like I said, with her doing better, starting PT, maybe some of that will recover too. I hope so. And yeah, and always support, love to you, prayers with you. I'll say Roo. Thanks for the 10 there. Hey, Tug, just a little help. Well, thank you. Appreciate that for sure. Also, Lynn, thanks for the 20. Fun to help. Yeah, got to get the fun times in there indeed, right? It's love there. Appreciate it. Willie, what's up? Thanks for the 10. Sorry, missed the show. Busy watching. Happy Gilmore 2. That's not a problem. Yeah, I've seen people talking about that. Happy Gilmore 2 a lot more. That's all good. I can't even remember what I was watching today. I've been watching I've been watching the new Dexter Resurrections. I don't know. That's actually been good so far. Now, I hope it doesn't turn into an absolute disappointment. I was a big fan of Dexter, not the last seasons. I think most people agree with the last seasons were pretty weak. They had some real problems, but then they, kicked off his Alaska run. Some of that was okay. It didn't feel like a Dexter show then. And now you've got this new, and again, it's been good. I just caught up the newest episode. It was weird seeing Peter Dinklage in it. I liked that. I thought that was good. You know, he was kind of a surprise there. I've liked his role. Neil Patrick Harrison's was in there. I thought that was kind of interesting as well. But I've also been watching Foundation. I've really liked Foundation season 3. I really like 1, 2 is it had a mixture. It had some good episodes and some not good episodes. But season 3 has been really good. So I've been watching that too. And I can't remember, I watched something else recently. Hello, Peter Dinklage. I know, man. Peter Dinklage is amazing. I watched Station Agent again recently. I hadn't seen that movie in years. You know, that was his introduction to the world. You know, and Station Agent is a great movie. It's one of those slice of life movies. You know, they sometimes feel disoriented, like they don't have a point. But the point is, hey, come here. Hey, check this out. Come here. Come here. I want to. So 2 people in here actually agreed with you about. So Rach here said that. I'll put it on the screen so you can see it. Says, look, I'll read it to you. Said, sorry, but she's with you about ramen. And says that there is a difference in taste between circles and squares. So there is. And look, aka the cat lady also said that square ramen is 100% better tasting.
Oh.
Yeah, look at that.
Yep, I know.
You know, huh?
Yeah, because square ramen has a shrimp in it. I love the shrimp. The shrimp is actually the best.
Oh,
the
man.
shrimp one that Gigi got.
Oh, really? Let's see. Here's Anders, too. Says,
can
can you say, first of all, can you say thank you for the $20?
Thank you for the $20.
It says for a square ramen because that's just better. Mm. Oh, yeah. Here's a question for you, too, from Rach. Can you say, first of all, thank you?
Thank you.
It says, do you have any birthday requests besides candy? You know, because you're obviously going to get your candy, you know, and you got your lip gloss. Is there anything else that you're thinking, man, that sounds cool? Is that a no? Is that really what you want?
No, I'm thinking about it.
Oh, you're thinking about it. You seemed like, wait a minute. You mean there's a world outside of lip gloss and candy?
I love candy, though.
I realize you do. I realize. That's like your overwhelming thing.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I could do a cat push and a dog push a wolf.
What?
I can.
Do what? I couldn't understand it.
Cat and dog push and meow wolf.
Oh, a dog and a cat plush?
Oh, impression.
Oh, impression. I thought you said a plush. I thought you were talking about the, you know. But do you know anything that that you would, else that you want for your birthday? Not right now. You have to think about it.
Yeah, but I don't.
She doesn't know.
I have to think about it first.
She's gonna have to really think about it because she's like, "There's a world outside of candy. What's happening here?"
Yeah, I just love candy, though.
Yeah, I know you do.
I always want to keep candy.
That is so funny.
I love candy, and that gives me literally $5.
All right, hey, jump down. I'm gonna be done in a few minutes. Okay.
That literally gives me $5.
I know, that's wild. All right, we'll go upstairs. Hey, I'll be done in just a few minutes.
I can kiss it.
Yeah, well, give me a hug.
And a fist bump and a high five.
That's a lot of requests. Well, come here. Give me my hug, my kiss on the cheek. Give me a fist bump.
The best fist bump?
Oh yeah, the Bessie bump. Yeah, and high five. Right. Boom. All right.
The up high.
I did do the up high. That was pretty high.
And the low high.
You did do the real high.
And the low high.
Yeah, we'll do low highs and stuff later. With any favor you can. Oh Lord. She God, there's so much there. David. How about the entire show for her? I mean some of the shows I've had fun where give me one second, I got a call. I had to cough there. I'm sorry. But I've liked the shows where she is on, but they go nuts on there sometimes too. If one of them finds out the others, so you got to bring both on, and the chaos is a lot of fun. So I might bring them both on for something, because I do enjoy their chaoticness. It makes a lot of fun. Let's see, there are 3. See, Emma sent 10 there. Lawyer fun. So happy. Suing her. Maybe she'll finally learn a lesson. It's all I can expect. Like I said, it's all good. We don't need a lawyer fund right now. Again, if we do, I will properly set up a fundraiser and we will be good to go if we need something in there. But right now, I think we're golden, and thank you, Well, that's let's see, Lisa. Whoa, it's in $100. That's amazing there. Thank you there. For whatever you need, legal fees, medical bills, or the Tuglets. Thank you, Dad. Thank you for your coverage. Support you 100%. Well, thank you. That's awesome. Again, you guys, I very much appreciate your support. And again, I want you to be entertained. That's the thing that I really want you to understand. I want you to be entertained. Niece, there's in a 5 there as well. So it's for the bug and the lug. Well, thank you for that too. That is amazing, and for sure. And thank you. Like I said, it's been a good show. It was fun. I'm going to end here. I don't know who's live right now. I just, like I said, I'll get back to redirecting soon. Right at this moment, I'm going to end. I'm going to go rest, kick my feet up. And we should be back on tomorrow. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be. All right. Appreciate you folks, and we will see you.